We are live.
Hello, welcome listeners, hello.
We've also switched places, Neil.
Yeah, it's going to fuck up some people. They're going to be like, "Guys, I don't know if I can deal with this. Why is he in that side and he's in that
I
fucking
know
side?"
what the fuck's going on when Neil's down the studio. Neil's on the left hand side, but when Neil's in his house, he's on the right hand side. Now he's on the left hand side. What the fuck's Mark doing? He's meant to be a professional.
Wednesday night came around again. That was quite a wee while though, man, for the last time. It seems as if
Do you
time's
feel the
slowing
last
up a
week's
bit.
dragged in a bit?
I've been consciously trying to slow down time.
Mm-hmm. How's it working out for you?
It's no bad. It's going all right. But I think it's if you try not to keep yourself overly busy, if you
Aye.
just kind of concentrate on a few things and work through it, it seems fine, you know.
Yeah.
So there's still people working now. There's still people working like fuck, man. You know,
Like me?
right now. Aye, like they're not taking time off. You know what I mean? They're working now. They just fuck it.
Will you take actual physical time off between Christmas and like the 4th or 5th of January?
Me,
Aye.
like physical time off, like what?
Like not work, just sit about in your pyjamas, eating boxes of celebrations.
I mean, I'll not be in boxes of celebrations, but no, I'll take it easy. Maybe Christmas Day, Boxing Day, I'll take it easy. But I just work next door. I'll just nip
I know.
out, do a wee bit, and back in and out and in. You know, it's
This is the thing.
kind of like
So obviously, I've gone for working in my bedroom, which is where the studio was, and I see that comment. We'll get to that in a wee minute. Aye. So I've been gone for work in my bedroom, so I was always at work, right? Because it was just the next room for the living room. And now obviously I'm in the studio, and it's good because you can purposefully choose. Like I left early the other night. Just Cam was leaving at 4, and I'm like, I'm just leaving as well, which is nice. But I know between Christmas and New Year, Mary's sort of adamant that we're taking time off, but I'll find it difficult not to want to come in.
aye. I mean, there's always stuff to be done. I don't know. You don't want to rip the cunt out of it, you know what I mean, and just be sitting about all the time. You know, I guess you need to keep going. A lot of people do, I'm taking this time. It's like the people that tell you they're taking the time off, full fucking 2 weeks off just doing fuck all. I'm like,
I know.
I don't know if they've got much of a business there. I don't know if there's much going on there. You need to be,
Aye. I was talking to Apollos last night, and he's got 2.5 weeks off. I was thinking to myself afterwards, like, I don't know what I would do with myself if I didn't have work for 2.5 weeks.
No.
It'd feel
It's
weird.
like, it's like if you're like, I could go to Spain for 2-3 days max. That's enough in Spain, or like a European holiday. 2 or 3 days is enough, and then you're back because there's fuck all to do, you know.
I was listening to Flagrant 2, you know, Andrew Schultz podcast.
All right, okay.
This morning in the drive-in, and what was interesting about that is he was talking about going on his honeymoon. So this was recorded before he'd get married and went on his honeymoon, and the guys were saying to him, "What are you going to be doing on holiday?" And the way he broke it down is exactly the way I am on holiday. Where he's like, the first 3 days I'll just not know what to do with myself, and I'll feel all confused and just thrown out of whack. And then after the 3rd day, I'll go, all right, okay, settle down, you're on holiday. That's what I've always been like. I found it really... I used to get anxiety dreams about work when I was on holiday. It was strange. Like, you're meant to be switched off and away from it, but I'd be dreaming about it.
I think you can switch off if you work for yourself, man. I don't think you can ever switch off. It's what it's like, it's part of your life. I don't think you can have a work in a job. See, if you work for yourself, you're into stuff like, see, even if you're doing wood stuff or that, you can't fucking play at it and then say, yeah, it's just, I'm just going to take this. I'm off now and I'm working there, and you set yourself up hours, and that's part of your life. It's a whole, it needs
because
to
your
be,
brain will kick in, won't it? And then you go, I've still got that bit, and maybe if I did that joint or whatever it is that you guys do, that's going on in your head, isn't it?
You need to immerse yourself in it, man, and just make it a whole part of your existence, you know. I mean, you don't need to. I suppose you could do what you want. You could fucking do what you want, but if you want to get anywhere or do anything good, you know, that's my point. That's my views anyway on it, you know.
Aye, it's got to be everything to you. I think when you're working for yourself.
I think so. It's hard as fuck.
Aye,
you know. But
Folk
it's got
don't
its good
understand it. It's funny because I often think back to when I just started my company. I was about a year in, and I'd got an office in this building where the studio was,
points.
and standing outside one day having a smoke, and it was just after 5 o'clock, and I had hunters still to do, so I knew I was having the smoke and getting back in, and watching folk coming out of all the other offices and stuff, and getting into their cars, getting into the car park, getting into their cars and driving off and going home and knowing that they're done for the day.
Aye.
And it was just that weird thing. And it's that kind of coin toss, isn't it? Where it's like,
Aye.
like, what do I do? Is this what I want out of life, or would I rather be like them? And
Aye.
I'd rather be the way I am, where work's really
I think
important
so.
and you're passionate about it.
I quite like going to I quite like getting into timber places or any kind of builders merchants this time of year, and just to pick up wee bits and pieces to see the stressed out guys who are
Right.
stressed to fuck. And I'm like, oh, I remember being like that, and you're in picking up shit to try and finish a job because there's a woman fucking crying and telling you she's going to kill you and kill herself. She's going to come to yours for Christmas dinner if it's not ready. And I like to go and see the stressed out guys and just have a look at them and say, thank fuck I'm not that guy. You know,
Aye.
it's like one of the times when I've been up on a scaffolding and it's pissing down and the wind's fucking blowing and it's fucking horrible. And I stand there and I think, just remember this time. Remember it because it's not going to last forever. And when the next time you're in the sun or whatever you're doing, remember back to this time on how shit it was and you thought, what the fuck am I doing? You know, it doesn't last. These times don't last. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Somebody that's a bit stressed out with work this time of year is our good friend Rob Simpson, friend of the show, Patreon subscriber. Rob says, we've normally started slowing down at work for Christmas. Busy as fuck this year, printing labels for on PCR tests.
Oh, is that what he's doing? He sold his soul out to the fucking Illuminati.
Well, I mean, he wants to be a joiner, but he's compromised his principles and he's printing PCR test labels instead. What can you do, Neil? We've tried to help them. We've tried to take them under our wing, give them a bit of guidance.
Aye.
But, you know, they've got to go their own way.
It's just the wee labels. He's not like doing anything for the PCR test, no. It's just
I think he's one of the vice presidents of Pfizer. I'm sure he's been on CNN saying, no, we need a fourth booster.
People will go fucking mental. They're talking about COVID, getting a fucking vaccine and that. Fucking shut up, Like, listen, every cunt's talking about it. Who gives a fuck? But did you see the Pfizer thing? How much they made in the quarter three?
No,
the third quarter. It was like 268 million a day or something like that. They brought in. It was some
what?
It might have been fake. Everything's fake nowadays. It might have been fake. Who knows?
What? It's marketing. They're marketing themselves.
Aye.
Here's a wee update on COVID in Scotland.
Okay.
There are 536 people in hospital with a recently confirmed COVID-19 test. 536 out of 5.5 million. It's devastating, Neil. The numbers are off the charts. Out of those 536 people, Neil, 40 are in intensive care.
Well, God bless.
So, devastating, scary.
Hopefully they pull through.
Aye, I mean, it's touch and go. Touch and go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you, though. It's like I see all these people on Instagram and that, and they're posting, yeah, wait, I've just got told I was positive for COVID, but on the bright side, while I'm isolating, I'm going to like build the home bar and paint my kid's room and all that. And I'm like, and then I look at it and I'm thinking, wait a minute, you're one of the cases that are in the number that they tell you in the news that's actually for the reason why we're still doing this, and you're able to go and build shit in your house and fucking pay. And then I look at it and I think, am I the only cunt? I can't be the only guy who's looking at this and saying, oh, this doesn't really add up, because even though he's a case, he's fucking all right. And then, but then, I don't know if you say that to people like that, but cases are huge. And I'm like, no, I'm like, think about it, mate.
Folks sitting about their houses doing DIY. There's thousands of them. Being queues like that. Fucking yes. Home base are like fucking yes. All these COVID cases. Fucking hell.
And this is what I'm saying. I'm like, this is weird, man. I'm like, really? This is fucking weird. All these fucking cases and that. But I don't know. They say we're all going to get it at some point, so I'm still waiting to get it.
Have you not had it? Not even like suspected that you've had it?
Nah. I never get anything. I've not been to the doctors for maybe fucking 14 years. I've maybe told you that before in an episode, and I've said I've not been to doctors for 12 years. Fucking it changes. I change all the time, but it's over 10 years. It's over, and it's like, what? Fuck off. See if I even got it. I want to be testing myself anyway. I'm like, I don't
No.
give a fuck.
Wait, when did you
But
ever? Man, we've all had, right, or maybe you haven't, but the rest of us mortals have all had the cold.
I've had the
So,
cold.
right,
Oh,
so
I
there
tell
you
you
go,
that. I've
right?
had
See,
the
but you
cold.
don't go to the doctor with the cold, and you don't fucking go to a fucking leisure centre car park in the pissing rain and drive your car up to a marquee and have a fucking Q-tip rammed up your nose because you've had a cold. I'm not feeling, oh man, I'm a bit bunged up, a wee bit of a
Aye.
temperature. You're just like, oh fuck, I've got a bit of a cold, couple of paracetamol. You know, those
Aye.
of us, those that are inclined, a wee hot toddy before bed,
Wee
maybe
hot
a bath
toddy.
with Epsom salts. Next day, fucking brand new again.
Aye. Aye. It's like I think there's people get bad with whatever they're getting bad with. I don't know. It's just some of the questions that I'm asking, and I'm looking about, and I'm thinking, are you fucking serious? Because I jumped on Twitter. I'm no on Twitter that, and I went on it because I was with this Omicron or whatever. I was looking to see what was going on, and I see. I went on. I was on Twitter for like a few hours. I spent the afternoon on it, and then the next day I spent time on it, and I was like, "That's enough, man." I'm
Aye.
looking at that, and I'm
It's
thinking,
torture.
"This is no. This must be fake because these people can. The fucking grown men, right?
Yeah.
They just no reply, no a reply, no of any context or fuck all. Just talking into the fucking Twitter sphere, whatever it is, and they just post stuff like." So glad I got my booster or whatever the fuck. And I'll still wear a mask outside because I really want to protect my elderly parents. And then people are like, and then there's a big thread that goes on and they're all doing the same shit. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yous must be fucking brilliant at a party. Yous
Oh,
fucking
aye.
cunts. They're the
Aye.
people. They're the ones that got, you were actually going away in holiday. We got a 5-star. Yeah, it was actually cost me fucking this and that. It's like, shut the fuck up and fuck off. And it's
Yeah.
just, it's too much. It's just too much. It's I look at it and I'm like, people spend all day on Twitter. You
Oh,
imagine?
man,
I
aye.
was an afternoon and I'm like, I feel angry. I want to
Yeah.
fucking punch fuck out people. You know?
Well, there's a question, query, and conundrum that we'll get to later on
Oh, okay.
about whether we've ever got to a point where we've wondered whether life was worth carrying on with. Spend an afternoon on Twitter, and you'll be at that fucking point where it's like, is it even worth it anymore? Is anything fucking worth it? And the thing that annoys me as a reformed, born again Christian is this time of year is meant to be where the light of the world came into existence.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? The way, the
Right.
truth, and the life. To set us fucking free. We're about to celebrate his birthday, Neil, in just a couple of days' time. And here the world is, oh, petrified. Jesus came to save you from fear.
It's a weird one. It's a
Believe
funny one.
and trust in the Lord.
What is the Jesus believers into now? Do they like the COVID or
Dunno.
what? Are they?
I think churches are like there's churches that have said they won't allow unvaccinated people in. Because remember that bit in the Bible where Jesus got roasted by the religious folk because he was hanging about with lepers, actual lepers.
Right.
And they're like, oh, he hangs about with lepers. Oh, that's no fucking good. And he's like, no, that's what we're meant to be like. Remember that? Remember that bit in the Bible? But no, apparently this church is banning unvaccinated people.
Oh, aye.
So that's nice. That's very, very Christian.
Well, it's like that. It's like when you say that's the way we're meant to be. Like it's like when people say, what do you call it? A random act of kindness, you know? And I'm like, well,
Aye.
we've gave it a name. It's like that's what we're meant to do. That's just meant to be normal life.
Yep.
But I was talking to a guy the day, one of my mates, and that's what I was saying to him about like grown men. People who hate Christmas are a funny one. I know how. I mean, they can't have always hated Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Something's happened.
Every child likes Christmas. So then you get older, and it's like people with kids who hate Christmas, and I'm like, well, it's not really for you anymore. You know, it's for the kids. And then you look at them, and you think you might just be a selfish bastard.
They just like spending money and being nice to people.
Well, it's spending money, being nice to people, and it's like, well, you see it on Instagram, you see it on wherever social media, YouTube, whatever. Like people my age who have got kids, and then it comes to a birthday or a Christmas, and they're posting picture all these expensive things, and I'm like, it's not really about you, mate. You know what I mean? This when you get to a certain age, nothing's really about you. You know, but I mean, I could go on and on. It's like what you see a lot of stuff nowadays in the same vein as that is like men asking for appreciation or moaning like fuck, like grown men. I mean, right, I get it. Men need a space to do their stuff. That's fine. But these like these men places, men things are like that. The bus that I seen with like Men Matter 2 and all that shit, right? So, and all these sad bastards in the back. And it's like grown men. Oh, I mean, it'd just be nice if we could show appreciation. You know, you maybe feel good. And I'm like, shut your fucking mouth. Men know when they're appreciated. Men shouldn't ask to be appreciated because they fucking know. And if you don't fucking know, what the I don't like. It's weak as fuck. And I think well, I don't know if I sent it to you. I was going to add it into the spreadsheet, but it was the new date wasn't up on it, and I says, I'll just leave it and I'll bring it up. There was an ad. It was this guy. What's it called? I'll find it. I'll find it during this thing. But there's a guy.
I'll look it up. I've got a laptop here. Oh, by the way, I should just mention producer Cam's not here. He's fucked off to Oban.
Cam's away to Oban.
But we're not talking about him. Not talking about him. Aye, so what is it I'm looking up?
I will find it. It's Strut something. Fuck, who did I? Strut Walker something. Strut.
Is it on Instagram?
I'll find it. Just give me 2 seconds, and I shall find this for you. Well, basically, I'll tell you what it is before you put it on. It was it's a guy who he's walking along, and you hear him on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, hi. Do you is it okay for men to phone up as well?" And she says, "Yeah, we speak to everybody." He says, "Yeah, it's just that my friend got jumped the other day, and I was just a bit scared. So if you could just stay on the phone till we get to my front door." And she was like, "Yeah, totally. We're here like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever the fuck." And I'm like, this is the weakest fucking shit I've ever fucking seen, man. It's so fucking weak, and it's like, how are fucking young teenagers meant to look at that and aspire to that? Phoning up a call center so you can get fucked. It's this whole making men, and I'm not saying men need to be macho. Just fucking, it's a natural instinct that the way you want to live. See, if you want to be a man or that, it's going to come natural to you, right? And it's all this fucking weak shit. Fucking, my friend get jumped. I'm like, see if your friend get jumped, get a fucking teamies, go and find the cunt who jumped them, and fucking kick fuck out them, right? Break fucking legs, break arms, whatever. It's like, that's what it's so fucking, it's weird, man. I'll try and find it here. Hold on, here we go. Strut Safe.
Strut Safe?
Strut Safe.
Strut Safe.
On Instagram, and it's like the second post.
Okay, I've got it here. Right, I'll just bring up the browser window. I'm saying I'll bring up a browser window. I had a browser window last week, remember?
Aye. It's the whole thing. It's the whole fucking...
There we go. Strut Safe. Need a walk home? Edinburgh. Need a chat? UK. Should we phone them?
I don't think they're open tonight. I think they're open tonight.
Friday, Saturday, 7 till 3, Sunday, 7 till 1.
I mean, I get what they're doing, right? Listen, I get it. Right? They're a thing. They're helping people out, and that's it. But I don't know if this is how we help people out. See this fucking bullshit? I don't think this is not how you fucking help it out. This is not how you do it. This is like making men more weak, and it's no the. And I'm not saying they need to be fucking macho. I'm just saying just fucking.
It's weird. So for the listeners, right, it's instagram.com/strutsafe, STRUTSAFE. Now, what's interesting to me is the colour scheme they use. It's incredibly feminine. Pink.
I think it's for women, though. I think it's for women as well.
Oh, is it for women? But I'm seeing posts about men.
I'm a fan of pastel colours as well. I like pastel colours. But
I don't mind pastel colours either.
It's just weak as fuck. All I'm saying is weak as fuck. Right. It's like the second post in. That's the fucking one. It's weak. Will you get sound?
You might not hear it, Neil, but the listeners and
thanks for calling Strut Safe. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm just out.
Do you guys also take calls from men?
Do you guys also take calls from men?
I'd be happy to stay on the phone with you while you walk.
Fuck off, you pussy bitch!
Normally I wouldn't.
Fucking walk along the street, get in your fucking house.
Last weekend, and it has me a bit nervous.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you found our number.
I'm really excited to get home. My dog will have missed me. She's not used to me being out this long.
She sounds so cute.
Right, that's me at my door now. Thank you so much. Is it alright if I call again when I'm out tomorrow?
Of course it is.
Fuck off.
I'm glad I could help. We take calls on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Alright. Have a good night. Take care.
The editing's bad
Bye
in
now.
the video.
Aye.
Aye, and it's not very it's not very realistic, the fucking script and all that. That's quite. We could have done better, Neil. We could have put a skit together.
I
sent
it to one of my mates, and he says, he's walking back for Bennett's with a seeping arsehole. I was like, it's fucking the thing. It's all it's all ties in.
A seeping arsehole.
It's
Fucking hell.
Brilliant. Because Bennett's is the gay bar, you know.
Is it?
Aye, but it's all ties in with this whole weak fuck appreciation for men. We want for. It's like when somebody comes to you if they I'm feeling a bit down and all that, right? Rip the cunt out them. Rip the fucking cunt out them and tell them to fucking square themselves up. And this whole getting inside your head too much, and then instant you've got a fucking anxiety disorder and all that shit. It's like, why the fuck? Like, teenagers are going to see that and be like, oh, is this the way? Is this what men do now? It's like, no, it's not what men do. It's not what men should do. It's like we can't have this fucking whole, I don't care. I'm just anything. Don't jet it. We need to fucking just keep men there so that, and they don't need to be told they're appreciated because they know when they're appreciated if they're just do. Yeah. And if you're not being appreciated, well, maybe fucking do something so you get appreciated. You know what you need to do as a man. You know what you need to do. If you're a man and a dad, you know what you fucking need to do. You don't need to walk and phone fucking Strut safe and say, oh, hello, I'm a little pussy fucking bitch with a wee vagina. Can I fucking do it? It's just fucking nonsense, man. It's so much fucking
This is how
nonsense.
the call should have been answered. Hello, Strut safe. Hi, I just wonder if I can stay on the phone with you. I'm a little bit nervous walking home. Are you a fucking dude? Well, identify as a man if that's what you mean. Are you fucking tooled up? Well, no, that's not. Get fucking tooled up. Get a fucking hammer. Fucking gaffer tape, a fucking Stanley blade tape, and get right in about the fucking cunts. Goodbye.
But I just don't understand what happened. What happened, man? See, when
you think World War One, World War Two, 1819, fucking 15-year-old boys lying about their age, going to trenches in the French countryside, right? Living amongst rats in mud up to their knees, eating fucking rank beef out of tins, and then getting told to go over the top and get fucking blown to smithereens. Hi, Strut line. Is that Strut line? Yeah, I'm at the Somme just now. I'm in a trench. The commanders just told us we have to go over the top. Then you get yourself over the top, wee man. You're fucking fighting totalitarianism.
This is it, man. But where does it fucking end? When the fuck does it end, man? And I'm not going to go about and start like protesting about men need to fucking do this, but it starts with the fucking men shed things, and I get how they could be good for all. See, if you're under fucking 60, if you're under 60, you don't need a fucking men shed, right? You don't, because all your mates should still be alive, right? When you get to 60, your mates start dying off. You're like, well, fuck, I've not got any mates. My wife's a fucking nightmare. I'm going to go to the men shed and speak to other guys, and that's fine.
Aye.
But when you've got guys who are fucking 30, 25, 30, you know,
do you know why that's happening, or why there's men at that age group and that demographic that need these things?
No, I don't.
It's because of the internet. It's because of the internet. It's because of the internet. I listened to a thing. It was Scott Adams, the guy that created the Dilbert cartoon, right? And he was talking about how people are complaining that during the lockdowns we were socially disconnected from each other, and he's like, I'm more socially connected than I've ever been in my life, thanks to my phone and social media.
Yeah.
No, that's part of the fucking problem. Men need to be with other men. We need to be in the same room from time to time. Maybe not all the time. Do you know what I mean? You need to be in the same room as folk. And now you can have pals, but see when it's all, and it's tweets and DMs and Twitter and on Instagram, it's not the fucking same thing.
It's not the same.
So you've got men who are missing connection to other actual men, sitting in the same room, the dynamic of being among other men, and then it creates all this weird anxiety and disconnect, and unable to fucking identify who you are and who you're meant to be. And that's why I think it's social media that's created a world of guys in their 20s and 30s who've got no fucking clue what it means to be a man, one, to be around men, how to identify who they fucking are, and a whole host of other social problems.
Well, growing up, I think you're exactly right. There's a difference with ripping the cunt out somebody on a text or a whatever, a DM, than what there is a group of guys The thing is, when a group of guys get together, is the hierarchy that forms, and then you have this one, you have that one, you have this one, and everybody knows, and then it's like, well, I know my place here, and it's a respect thing amongst them all. It's like when I was young, when I started working, like my dad has got a mate, and he had a car garage. It's like a body shop and all it. And in the back, they had the kitchen, and they would all go. So anytime we went in at lunchtime or dinner time, and they'd be in there for hours, just all these big fucking hard men, and they're all fucking having a laugh, but they're laughing at each other and ripping the cunt at each. But there's a respect as well, and I'm like that. That's what you need to have. What we just meant to be blank, fucking blank, and it's like, oh, he just called me a cunt. He does not like me. Did I do something to offend you? It's like, shut the fuck up. This is how we communicate. This is how we this is how we find out who's who and what's. You push each other's buttons and then see who's what. But it's, I don't I've noticed it recently. It's just fucking declining. It's all fucking spiraling out of control, man.
Aye, so we've had, we're almost going into the third year of folk being disconnected from folk, and it's ramping up again, right? But let's not go there again. But we know it's ramping up again. Folk are getting disconnected from other people, right? And there's going to be a fucking generation of folk who are completely socially inept. They have no clue what it's like to go to a rowdy birthday party, to go to like a 50th wedding anniversary with all your aunties and uncles and crazy cousins, right? Because it's been taken out of their lives. And even if it's only for a short period of time, it has a fucking impact.
It's sad. It's sad, man. It's sad.
The difference in Mary's son since he started his apprenticeship as a roofer. Night and fucking day. Night and fucking day, Neil. He's out, and it's what you were talking about, out with men. Doing a really fucking physically tough job, right? Up in roofs in the fucking freezing. I mean, he started in the summer, he's now in his first winter, right? So that he's going to be fucking freezing cold all day, probably soaking wet a lot of the time, using tools, using his hands, fucking he's doing the labouring part as part of his apprenticeship. So he'll be humping fucking felt and wood and all up onto roofs, and he's got all the banter and all the patter, and there's been times where he's been staying up in Aberdeen for the full week with men. The difference in that boy is night and fucking day. And see if you're a father of sons and you want to protect your sons for that, fuck off. They need to be exposed to it.
They need to be exposed to it, because that's how you build. That's how you build. Like, look where we came to, but look what we've built up. This fucking mass, everything we've fucking built up was just because that's the way they had men, and men acted the way women acted the way, and fair enough. I don't. It's just fucking sad, and it's weird looking at people, and I'm like they take fucking pictures, right, and they fucking get these like no shoulders and that, and they're just like limp, and they're all like, and I'm like, what the fuck is the matter? I am like, what the fuck is the matter with you, man? I look at him like, what the fuck happened to you, man? You want to fucking slap him in the fucking side of the shoulder and say, fucking square yourself up, mate. It's just, but I don't know if anybody wants to do it, because like, no, you can't be too hard on him. You can't. Like, what the fuck you talk? You can't be. There's no such thing as being too fucking hard. They'll fucking find their position in life, and then he takes. But I think it's everybody wants to be fucking important. Everybody wants to be fucking some sort of fame or known for doing something, and it's like, come on, man.
Just think back to that iconic photograph of the New York skyscraper getting built, and you've got like the 5-6 guys, however many of them it is, sitting on the girder having their lunch, right? Think of that. Think about what was their chat. What was their chat? And do you know what they didn't have? They didn't have phones. They didn't have fucking Instagram and TikTok. You know what I mean? So they're sitting talking to each other. Imagine the shit these guys would chat to each other.
Aye. But I mean, it's just
different world.
It's funny talking about it, because if you look online, people hate talking about this, and they say, oh, it's so white. an old white man talking about it. It's but that's online. I don't believe any of that stuff online. It's fucking bullshit.
Look at these two cis white men talking about things they just don't understand.
But that's,
no. We're talking about what it means to be a man. Yeah, but you don't really understand.
Yeah,
that's the shit you'd get hit with.
It's just, I get it, man. I get it. I get the whole argument, and it doesn't mean to say men are fucking always hard as fuck and fucking punching fuck out women and all that. That's not that's not a thing, man. You know.
No.
But it's just, I've just noticed it a lot, and it's coming up to Christmas probably, and it's like everybody's going on. Well, if you know someone that won't have a good time of year, that it's like. It's not my issue, right? Like, that's his fucking doing.
Are they related to me? No, well, they can fuck off.
But it's like, everybody's got a fucking choice, right?
Aye.
So, I don't like Christmas. I don't like Christmas. Well, right? Well, that's not my fucking problem. And I'm not wanting the whole fucking world to fucking cater to this fucking prick who doesn't like Christmas. It's like, think of the kids, mate, and just fucking forget. It's selfishness. It's fucking selfishness. That's all it is, man. It's like men became very fucking selfish and wanted all this fucking adoration and fucking appreciation, and it's like, shut up, man. You know, shut the fuck up. But I don't know. I mean,
well, that's all I've got to say. We've sorted the man problem.
I mean, that's it. Shut the fuck up. That's all I'm going to say. That's the way to deal with it, is just tell them shut the fuck up and go on with it. But I think people want to do that, man. I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows the way any of us are meant to act? It's just that when I look out at the world and I look at the way shit is, and I'm like, I know what way I prefer. I know what way makes. I know what way is funnier for everybody involved. It's more inclusive this way as well. But no, we're trying this weird fucking thing where it's weird to be a man. You need to fucking understand a woman. You need to do it. It's like, listen, we're two different people, two different, totally different, you know. Men are for Venus, women are for Mars, whatever the fuck. I think it's the other way around.
No, it's the other way around.
The other way around. It's like, deal with it, man. Just fucking get on with it, man. It's just, I've just been online too much, man. Right?
I can tell. I've not seen you this worked up for weeks.
And it gets me so annoyed when I'm online scrolling through stuff. You want to know another thing that fucking annoys me when I'm scrolling through?
Go for it.
The other thing that annoys me is the amount of people online that'll tell me they are busy as fuck. They've never been as busy. We're just wrapping up all your Christmas orders to get them out. Thanks for the business. We're busy as fuck. I've been working late as fuck. And I'm like, right, okay. And then the next time they're saying support small business, we need support for. I'm like, you are getting fucking. So you're lying about one thing, you know. You're either lying about how busy you are, and it's just. And then they fucking. By the way, cause we can't post anything out now, and we'll not get for Christmas. You can always go online and buy a gift voucher and all that. And I'm like, oh fuck, how many fucking years am I going to need to scroll through fucking it and see the same fucking shit, the same over and over again? It's like, oh, it's Gary V piss. That's what it is, man. It's just all it's like everybody's went on YouTube and watched this fucking watched his videos, and they've all done the same fucking shit. And it's like, this is just, everything's the same. Everything, there's nothing like original. It's like, this is kind of a boring time that we're living in. There's no much original good stuff. It's just fucking. I'm going to stop moaning because I've been online too much. It annoys me.
You got it off your chest. That's part of what this podcast is for.
That's it.
Part of what this is your podcast.
It's a man shed.
Right, we'll cover off a couple of comments. So we've got RC in the chat tonight. Fit like lads, happy Christmas. Thank you, RC. Is that Rob Cassidy?
I think his name comes up, full Rob Cassidy.
So I don't know. We're not sure who. RC, who the fuck are you? Identify yourself. Going back to Rob Simpson printing off the PCR test labels, he says tomorrow he's printing fake COVID passes.
I mean,
send us a DM, mate. We'll figure out how to get one of them off you.
Is it bad if you got a fake vaccine passport?
We can't discuss that on the public podcast.
Oh, you can? Okay.
It's illegal, and we would never condone or suggest that anybody ever does that. In Germany, you get the jail. Germany and Austria, you get the jail.
What a lot of shite. That's all that is. What a lot of fucking shite. You know, it's just so fucking embarrassing, man. It's like, really, I'm going to get the jail because I've got... Well, what was that tweet? Did you see the tweet that went viral? And it was like, there's 850,000 registered sex offenders in Britain, and they don't need to carry a card.
Aye.
But and
Brilliant.
it's like, but the whole thing is, it's like, but this the reason that a lot of the sex offenders are lawyers, judges, high up police people, doctors, big high up. That's fucking basically why, because it's them and all their fucking mates. You know,
That's why they've got.
there's
That's why they went for those jobs.
exactly.
It's not.
It's
It's like what came first, the sex offending or the high profile public servant job?
but is there any working class paedophiles? Is there any
Uh,
working class paedophiles? I don't know if there is. There
well,
probably has been.
if there is
There
and you're
probably
watching tonight, phone in 07719 69 00 49. Right, what else we got? Dom Wilson says Cam has more days off than Santa. A wee bit harsh. He's incredibly hardworking, but I think if you've tuned in sporadically, you've probably noticed that he's not been here a couple of times. Rob Simpson, just going back to the whole thing about getting jumped and all that kind of stuff. He says he had a chat with his oldest about what he would do if he saw one of his brothers getting picked on at school. He reckons he'd tell a teacher. Rob said, no, you go get them by the throat.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. I mean,
World Peas, a couple of comments from World Peas. World Peas, I don't know if this is a new viewer, new listener. Welcome either way. If you want a trip, look up Sue Ellen Browder, self-confessed propagandist for Cosmo from the 70s. She's got an interview on YouTube and describes how they weaponised feminism and why.
Cosmo, what's Cosmo? Like the magazine?
Cosmopolitan, I think, aye.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to say quickly, talking about fake vaccine passports, World Peas also says they'd blow your brains out where you stand in Australia if you presented a fake one. Aye. It's a crazy world, but you know what? It's a time of Thanksgiving and appreciation and giving gifts and receiving gifts. I'm looking forward to getting my Leatherman at Christmas.
Oh, you're getting a Leatherman?
Getting a
nice.
Leatherman. Getting
nice.
the oxide black one.
Aye.
Comes in a wee case.
What one is it? What one is it?
I think it's the Wave.
Aye,
I think it's the Wave.
One.
It's not too big and too small, so I'm looking forward to that. Aye. So this will be our last podcast of 20. Oh no, we'll do one next week, eh? Today's we'll do one next week. Aye.
It's that's the whole fucking thing's weird, man. The whole fucking thing's weird. I don't know. It's just weird that people take it so serious. And I know fucking hell, people are dying. I get how people, and I think it's a fucking shame that we have this thing, but people are putting all their everything into these governments and all that. It's like they've had fucking 2 years. They no fucking dealt with it yet. It's like honestly, they no fucking dealt with it yet in 2
Apparently
years.
It's the public's fault.
It's the public's fault. It's unvaccinated fault. It's all the unvaccinated. They're in hospitals, which I don't.
I'm trying to find a quote.
I don't know many unvaccinated people.
You don't know any unvaccinated people?
No, I don't know many. I don't know many unvaccinated people. Nah.
I'm trying to find a quote that I read this morning from Nicola Sturgeon.
She got a Christmas card coming out.
Aye.
To bring people together.
Aye. Hopefully, because it's such a difficult, dark time. Yeah, that you've helped create. You dictating.
Oh, it's like what I say. We made all this up ourselves. You know, we made it all up. We could just fucking change it, and we could change everything up. Really.
I can't find the quote from her.
We could get people out of poverty. We could do everything, man. They've just this is what. See, if I was fucking homeless or in need of money or that, and governments, we've just not get any money. We've not get any money, and then this COVID thing came. I'd be quite pissed off. I'd be like, "You've told me for fucking years you don't get any money, and now yous are printing it off willy nilly to fucking pay cunts who don't really need the fucking money." You know, it's all. What can you do, man? What can you do?
Do you see Pfizer, right? You heard that? You know Pfizer, right? Do you know that Pfizer isn't a pharmaceutical company?
Oh, is it no?
It's a marketing company for pharmaceuticals.
Really? Aye. That's really interesting. I never knew that. But the thing I think about that when I see it, I'm like, I've never known what medication, like the name of the company that I've took medication for and all that. So it's like, but we love brands so much, and we love stories. We love all that stuff so much that they've actually made the vaccines give them a brand and give them a name, you know, like Supreme and all that. It's just the same as that. So people can start arguing.
Aye.
Oh, Nike's better than Reebok and that.
Aye.
It's the same
What
on
did
the
you get,
Moderna's
mate?
much
Were
better.
you doing the thing, mate? What
Exactly.
did you get?
And
I get
then-
this. I get
and
AstraZeneca.
people-
You get AstraZeneca. I get fucking
Aye.
Pfizer, mate. Fucking
But
Pfizer.
but
What did
that's
Santa bring you? Did they bring you Pfizer or AstraZeneca? I get AstraZeneca. I need joy me, man. I get fucking Pfizer for Santa.
Aye. But that's it. But even that, people talking about it, it's like, see if I have one more person asking me, man. It's like, I just tell people, I'm like, it's none of your fucking business. Go and fuck yourself, you know?
It's
It's
the
like, why
only
the fuck are you
response.
asking? Why are you fucking asking me? You know what I mean? Why are
Only
you asking
response
me
to
that?
give.
Like,
I
why
told
are
you,
you
but
fucking asking me?
I told you about I was thinking it was obviously off podcast, but a job Cam and I had been doing, and it's kind of at the wrap up process. And the client was in here, and she said something about, oh, my dad's not going to get the booster, the new the booster. He said he's not going to get it, and I was like, I can probably tell you this now, but neither Cam nor I are vaccinated, and it was that kind of. I know.
As
it's
if
funny.
it's like a big deal.
I
As
know,
if it's a
but I
fucking real
explained
thing.
logically my reasons, and Cam logically explained his reasons, and she was like, "All right, okay." And not wait, it's like she actually
Aye.
got credit where credit's due. She listened, she heard what we had to say, and she was like, "Right, okay, well, I can understand that."
Aye.
Wait, I don't want
I
to
don't
go
know,
into it, man. It's
I
too
don't
fucking
know.
mental.
I don't know if I have any reasons for anything, man. It's like there's a saying that's like, see, mind your own business. That's fucking
Aye.
disappeared. Mind your own business has disappeared. It's like it's the best thing to say to anybody. It's like, fuck off and mind your own business.
Yep.
Cunt face.
Cunt
Fucking,
face.
it's just the way. It's just the craziest thing. But I don't even think we're fucking anywhere near the end. I think we're fucking. I think Mad Max might fucking happen.
Aye,
I
but
think
you
it
know the
might
Mad
fucking
Max
happen.
thing. The Mad Max thing could happen, right? But it won't be from people like us that have been raging against this for almost into 3 years. We're getting into the third year, Neil. Right, folk, well, it was only 2020. No, we're getting into 2020, 2021. Now we're getting into 2022. That's getting into the third year. It's not going to be us that will create the Mad Max thing. It's going to be the folk that have had 2 shots, a booster, and then then they're getting told, no, you need another booster.
Yeah.
Or you can't go to that concert that you bought tickets for 2 years ago. They're the ones that are going to go out and go, right, fucking, where's my pitchfork? Because I'm
Yeah,
going down to Downing Street.
I think a lot of people are like, fuck this. Fuck
Aye.
this shit. I'm fucking done with this stuff, you know? I'm done with this fucking nonsense. It's I don't know, man. It's like that's what I'm saying when I was looking online and I'm thinking, this is some fake fucking shit on here. Yous are all fucking dicks. See when you read all this shit and I'm like, yous actually believe all this fucking stuff that yous are spouting out? Just all this nonsense. And it's all this virtue signaling stuff. And I'm like, I never knew that was as bad as what it was. You go on Twitter, it's
Oh,
fucking
Twitter's terrible for it.
crazy, man. People have got their username with they're like whatever
Pronouns.
Pfizer fan and
Oh,
all
right.
that. Do you know,
Really?
like, on the,
Really?
aye, it's like all these things, and then it like tells you what they're doing, and I'm like, oh, this is some weird stuff. Like, it gets me to the point where I'm thinking, see the whole cancel culture thing and all that. I don't believe any of that fucking shit. What happened to Dave Chappelle? What happened to all the fucking outrage there?
Aye, that's
You know what I mean?
disappeared, didn't it?
Disappeared fucking quick. It's like it's just some fake fucking shit that does not happen in real life. See, when you go into the actual real world, you start talking to people, it's night and day compared to the internet. Online's is I don't know, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this is like looking at children arguing in a
Aye.
playground
Well,
about, and I'm like, these are meant to be real fucking people. These are meant to be people who have got kids,
Families and
husbands
jobs
and
and
wife,
houses and mortgages.
responsible people
Aye.
that need to go out into the world and do the best they can and be nice to each other and build a nice society. And I'm like, this is really, it's embarrassing reading it. I'll read it and it's all these people with a blue tick. They're the fucking
They're the worst.
And
Aye.
I'm looking at them and I'm
That's how
thinking,
you get the blue tick, though.
I'm like, yous are fucking ridiculous. Yous are weak little fucking pussy bitches. I can't understand this, man.
There's been strong arguments made that a lot of the restrictions, even now, are due to folk on Twitter. Twitter storming it up. And that's brilliant. And let's not forget the podcast that we're making right now. It's called Social Media Ruins Everything. Little did we know that it would ruin everything. The whole very fabric of life.
Right, let's stop talking about this
I
shit.
know.
'Cause
Should we do
that's
some
enough.
questions, queries, and
Aye, do
conundrums?
some
I
questions.
can't reach my jingle. This is the problem
Oh.
with having producer Cam here. I can't reach the jingle.
Right.
Right, we've got a question from Gordon's. Gordon's. Is it Leather Gifts? I can't.
Has he changed his
No,
name to get
it's
an ad?
me, man. It's on Instagram. Remember we put it up on Instagram.
Yeah, aye, that's it. Aye.
Aye, so it's Gordy Browse, right? He asks the Grinch or Krampus. So I'm going to need to look up Krampus because I've never heard of Krampus before.
I know who Krampus
Oh,
is.
right. Oh, for fuck's sake.
A big scary beast.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Neil. We don't need that.
Big scary beast. Aye, that's it. Krampus.
Look at the fucking state of that.
Yep.
So what we meant to be doing with this? Is this to terrify children?
I think it was. Is it a German thing? Am I right? Is it an old German thing about
right, okay.
what Santa does and that? And did you see the thing about Grinch? The Grinch. The woman paid the money, and he come in and they fucking trashed the house.
Aye, right. I heard about it, but
Oh,
guys,
Jesus, what we doing?
there we go. Aye, it was. I think that was last week, and I was up to high do, Neil. I was up to high do in here, so it kind of passed me by a wee bit. But aye, he went and just fucked the house up, didn't he?
Aye, it's brilliant, man.
Imagine that. That'd be fucking amazing, wouldn't it?
Oh,
you just
what
set
a
yourself
job,
up on
man.
Facebook Marketplace. You know what I mean?
Aye,
Grinch for hire, £50 an hour. Oh, that
Aye,
sounds great,
fucking
man. The
brilliant.
kids will love that. The kids will love that. So
Brilliant,
what we
man.
going for? The Grinch or Krampus?
Oh, the Grinch, you could deal with that. Krampus is a scary bastard. I could not be into him or her.
I'm going to take Krampus because I was brought up with scary imagery, so that doesn't faze me. And it's not done me any harm getting brought up with scary imagery of people dying.
See if you were walking home. See if you park your car at night and walk home and then you saw Krampus.
Oh,
would you phone Strut Safe?
I would phone Strut Safe.
And say
You
Krampus
just leave
is
them a
following
message
me.
because they're shut. I'm just talking about that quickly. I'm obviously, this is the latest I've been in here on my own in this old building. I don't know if it's haunted or not, right? Obviously, the 29 women that were killed by the facade of the building back in 1876 when the wind blew the facade of the building off and killed 29 of them. I don't know if they're haunting this place or not. And I'm on this floor. I know there's nobody else on the floor, but I've heard the double doors out in the hallway open and close a couple of times. I think I might just stay here all night.
I would lock the door and no leave.
I'll just piss in an empty water bottle, man, and just stay here till the morning, till the sun comes up.
Well, in saying that, man, you're getting out there yourself. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
well,
scary.
you know
going
what it's
through
like,
that
man.
building.
Aye.
Going through yourself late at night. Aye,
Definitely.
Once you get outside, I think you'd be totally
Brand new
fine.
because you
but
get the
when
pub and
you're
all
in-
that down there, but it's these corridors, the long corridors with the echo. Can you imagine it, man? You'd go out. So basically, to describe to folk, right, you come out of the door of the studio, you need to turn left, and then you walk maybe 20 paces, and then there's double doors, like fire doors that bang, right? So you've got to go through there. Another 5 paces, you turn right, and it's a long motherfucking corridor.
Yeah.
Long corridor. But the lift is less than halfway along, right, into the left. So if you're going to the toilet or the kitchen, you got to go to the very end of the corridor. Imagine you're walking down and you hear echoing footsteps behind you as you're walking down, and you turn round, and there's no cunt there. Why am I doing this to myself? I've got to leave
I know,
here.
that freaked me out. Well, it's like if I say to like my middle boy and I'm like, right, go and put the bins out. The bin is going out tomorrow or something, and he'll drag them down, and I'll go to the door when he's coming up. I'll be, there's somebody behind you. There's somebody, and he's like, oh fuck, and he runs, and it's just you can put it in your head that somebody's behind you, man.
You feel the hair in the back of your neck.
Somebody's fucking there. Oh, there's somebody's hiding behind my van. They're going to jump me. Oh fuck.
I terrify myself. I've got to go up to pee in the middle of the night. I terrify myself. Just in the short 2 steps from the bedroom door back to the bed, that this hand's going to reach out from under the bed and grab my ankles, and I jump onto the bed. Neil, I'm 50 in 2 weeks.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Bed.
And I'm still terrifying myself.
What age did you start having to get up in the middle of the night for a pee?
No, it's not an age thing. It's just if I've had water or whatever too late.
All right, okay. So
it's not every night, and it's not every night. It's just if you need to.
All right, okay. I thought
you
it was
wake
just
up at 1 in the morning. I thought I'm bursting for. No.
I just thought it was a routine where it was like I need to go for.
No. That's just not. It's not every night. It's not every night.
Man.
Dom Wilson in the chat says, Mark's ringing Strut safe and he's way out the building. Aye, just as we've said. He also makes the point, Neil, that the screens are the opposite way around and Neil's acting like Mark getting triggered and ranting. You okay, Neil? It's
I'm
weird,
fine,
isn't it?
man.
We've switched places
Aye,
and you're
I
losing
know.
your shit about
I know.
stuff.
Oh, I
Um,
just spent too much time on the internet. It's just because I was doing stuff in the house, and it's Christmas, and I was kind of taking easy doing a wee bit of work, so you have more time. And I was like, oh, I'll go. And cause of this thing, I was wanting to see what was going on, if they were going to
aye,
do a lockdown and all that. So I
aye,
was on, and then you get sucked in, you get
yep,
sucked right into that fucking Twitter hang, and I'm like, oh, but you need to just detox fit. I'll be fine after the night, man.
aye,
I'll
aye.
be fine
But
after the night. I've not
this is
done
the
much.
palate cleanser, man. The podcast is a palate cleanser.
That's it.
Because we
That's
do
it.
admit that social media ruins everything. Right, we've got another question, query, and conundrum. There's only two tonight. I think folk are just taking their eye off the ball a wee bit. Neil's coming up to Christmas and all that, and folk are
Aye,
just
okay.
like, fuck these guys, man. Fuck these guys. So the second question, query, and conundrum is from L.E. Wilkinson
Okay.
or Lou I don't know. Right, this is I'm trying to see because I'm on
I
a
just see.
Samsung phone now.
I see. Samsung's fucking weird. It's shite. I don't understand what's the point in them. There's no fucking point. I know people. Oh, everybody should just use Apple and it'd just be a lot easier. I see
Here we go. Got it. Sorry.
Dom Wilson. Dom Wilson, his dealer out of town or isolating. It's probably something to do with that as well. If I'm
Aye.
honest with you, the past few days were kind of weird, so it's probably something to do with that. What's happening,
Right.
Malcolm? You're right.
So the question is, or the point is, closest you've ever came to giving up on life, and what made you decide it's worth living? And he
All
admits,
right. Okay.
very morbid.
Aye.
That's a fucking dark question, man. But then we do open ourselves up to it in this podcast, Neil. Folk to hit us with the dark shit.
Aye, would you? Oh, it's just like there's no any point going on anymore. No, I had kids
Aye.
young, man. I had kids young, so you know what I mean. It's no, I've never had that sort of thing. I had kids very young, so I've had kids very young age,
So is you implying then that kids are make it worth carrying on, make
Oh,
worth? Aye, right.
aye, man, you need to have so. You know what I mean. You're a dad. You know what I mean. You're a dad. Fucking suck it up and fucking deal with it. You know what I mean. There's no issue that should come into your life when you're a dad that makes you think that way. I think you should fucking suck it up and fucking deal with it. I think that's all you can do, man. I don't know this. I don't know. I've never. But maybe I'm just speaking for a fortunate place. I don't know.
No,
You know what I mean?
I would say for 99.9% of my life, and particularly as a father, I felt the same way. Last summer, I was in a dark place for a wee while, just for
Aye.
a couple of weeks, but not to the point
Aye.
where I'd have to phone the Samaritans or phone Strut safe.
Aye.
But I did have to be open and honest with Mary about where I was at.
Mhm. Well, it's
But it didn't last long, and just speaking to somebody helped. When I say I
Aye.
don't mean like speaking to somebody as if she's somebody, but not that way, like actually saying
yeah.
the stuff that was going on in my head, like the dark place I was in. But
I mean, we're fortunate as fuck to live where we live. See, if you're in the Western world, you're fucking fortunate. You don't know what the fuck. You don't know you're living, man. When you like, we have, and see, the thing is, we're not here for a long time. You know
No.
what I mean? And people are so moaning about this and that. I'm like, see, I don't say that. I don't say that because it's insensitive. But it's like, it's we're here for such a short time. It's like you need to fucking realize, accept your circumstances that you're in, and realize that this is it.
Yeah.
This is your life experience. So make whatever experience you want and fucking go and do that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
No,
You need to have a routine, and you need to have goals, and you need to set up stuff. If you don't have any of that, if you don't have a routine, if you don't have goals, if you don't set up all that stuff and find a skill that you want to learn or try other stuff, well, what's the point? And what you're going to do? Just sit and watch fucking Netflix? It's like,
I
get
know.
a grip, man. Switch
I
your
know.
telly off. Go and fucking go on out a walk or
I
that.
think though what you said though, that we live in the West, and so the implication is, we live in the West. We've got homes and food, and we don't have the existential threats that exist in other parts of the world in the present day or would have existed in this part of the world 150, 200 years ago or whatever. We're certainly not in a position where we're going to get called up and have to go to the trenches in the Somme and face an almost certain death, right? But perhaps those comforts create a world where people go into mental health crises where
it's too easy. No challenge in the first world. There's no challenge in the first world.
And then what would, on balance, be a small challenge becomes a massive challenge in their heads, and they don't have. And when I'm saying I'm talking about other people, but I think it can apply to equally to us as well, right? At any given time, it could happen. We don't have the framework mentally and emotionally to deal with toughness, to deal with difficulty. So it becomes a massive fucking thing in our heads.
Aye, it's the challenge. I mean, hey, I've spoke on here as well how it's like, I don't know if I want a challenge. I'm quite happy just taking it easy and having a nice time. And but then I was saying to Gemma when when we were out walking on it, and I was like, I don't think we've got any challenges in that. And she's like, we're constantly living in a fucking challenge, and it's just that I never realized that we're constantly challenged and going through all these different things. I just like get on with it. So maybe that's why I just thought, this is quite cool, but it's always been a challenge, you know. But you need, if you've not got a challenge, you need to give yourself a challenge. You know what I mean?
You've given yourself a challenge.
Oh, I've given myself. See, this is probably why I'm
talking. You're 40.
Yep. That's probably why I'm talking about this, because me and Caleb built the gym out the back. My middle
nice.
boy, we built the gym and all it. We get the power rack and all it. So every morning we're up, man. 7 a.m, 7:15, we're out. It's not got a roof on it or that. It's an outside gym, you know. So it's cold, you know. Skipping ropes and all that and some stuff. So he's came out, and then even the youngest one, Sonny, who's 8, he's come out as well. In the mornings for the past few mornings, so they're getting into it, and
brilliant.
And we're just lifting weights. We're doing like kind of good stuff, you know, like the Olympic bar sort of stuff and that. So maybe that's why I'm talking like this, because I was watching David Goggins, and I think anybody who's having a hard time thinking about stuff, they should watch the first interview that he done on Joe Rogan. He prepared the interview so fucking good, and because Joe Rogan's like the best interviewer, one of the best that there is, because he'll let a guy speak for 10 minutes without fucking saying anything, right? And but Goggins had the story perfected, just these battles, and it was brilliant fucking interview. And I was like, what a fucking pussy I am, man. See, after you watch him, I'm like, what the fuck am I moaning about, man? So anyway, that's how we got we've had the gym done for a while anyway, but then I got my middle boy into it as well, because he likes podcasts and all that. So I says, go and listen to that one, and he was like, that guy's fucking mental. I'm like, he's fucking crazy, totally man. Mental. But
so if you shot yourself, have you shot yourself doing squats or anything like that?
Well,
you've not reached David Goggins levels unless you've actually shot yourself while exercising.
He's the toughest. He's tough as fuck, right? He's tough guy, and he doesn't give a fuck what people think about him, man. I'm like, that's exactly the way he needs to be. He's so he's just like, I don't know if people beat him, man. You know, he's just happy to live, and he just wants to be a good man. But but you're totally right. It goes in your head, and if you don't have a challenge, and you're like, oh, what am I doing? And people look on social media though, and they see people being fake, and they take it as real. How the fuck have they got that? How can they do that? And then it starts eating away at them, and it's like, fuck them all, man. You need to do your own fucking thing, you know? It's
that's that reminds me of a comment that came in a wee bit earlier on from William N01. We were talking about the Christmas thing and all that, and folk on social media about Christmas. He says, I'll bring it up. Nothing worse than the idiots who advertise for DFS with all the presents on the couch on Christmas Eve. And that plays into what you're saying. And that, you know, it's a time of year where it's meant to be joyful and it's great for kids and all that kind of stuff. But there is the whole, I think it's easy for some folk to fall into a mad comparative mindset where they're worried they're not doing enough, they're not giving their kids enough, they're not keeping up with, you know, the folk that they see on Instagram or on Facebook who are, as William says, posting the photograph of their DFS sofa with a fucking pyramid of presents.
Yeah, it's pretty mental.
And that's a challenge as well.
It's pretty mental that people do it, and it's pretty mental the comments, and they're like, "Oh, they're lucky kids and all that. You've done
Aye.
great. You're such good parents and all." And I'm like, we're living in this fake fucking world of shit.
Yep.
It's so fucking weird, you know.
Aye.
Very,
Yeah,
but even that
well
when
done, mum
when
and dad.
you
You're
go,
in debt now.
aye, well that's it, man. But even like saying that, like, you know, they're all flexing and all doing that. Like I was doing YouTube, or I was like, I was filming stuff because I was making a chair, making another few things, and I had shots like out the workshop and in the water and that, and I quite like it, and I don't see it as flexing or anything. But then I says, I don't know if I could put a video. People might just look at it and say, "What the fuck are you? Why are you showing me this? Why are you showing me your fucking surroundings?" And I'm like,
I know what you
well,
mean. You could think it's
do
a
you know what I
flex,
mean?
but it's
It's no,
context.
but it's no a flex coming
It's
from me because
not.
I look at it as we're all the fucking same. You know what I mean? And it's like we just need to. Everybody needs to enjoy everything. It's no done intentionally. Like, check my view. This is beautiful. It's no done for anything like that. It's like it's just for a part of the thing because there's maybe a boat going by or there's
Aye, it's
maybe some
context,
noise or
man.
something, and that's it. But
It's
it's
part of the narrative. It's part of the storytelling.
aye, it's just, but it's totally part of that. It's totally part of the storytelling. If you're building like a wee brand, if you want to say it, you know, and you want to
Aye.
build a thing like this is where you work, and it all ties in. But
What's
it's
your kind of?
sometimes you get conscious of that, you know.
Aye, no, I understand that, but no, I
You know?
wouldn't. I wouldn't if I were you.
No, well that's it. Well, I don't give a
Give a
fuck.
fuck.
If anybody's got a problem, they can go and fuck themselves. You know, it's like it's pretty simple. You know, they're no. It Disney. I don't know. I feel very aggressive tonight. But I'll be
I
all right.
hadn't
I'll be
noticed.
fine.
I hadn't noticed. And the thing is, you about 15 minutes before we went live, you went for a piss and done some other bits and pieces.
Huh.
I didn't. I just sat here like a lazy bastard in this comfy sofa, and now I'm absolutely bursting for a piss. But I'm scared to tell you because you'll go, "Oh, for fuck's sake, this is fucking ridiculous." And if I go for a piss, I'm going to be away for like it's a long walk down that fucking corridor. It's a long fucking walk. By the way, the
Man.
chat is getting spammed tonight. Have you noticed it?
I see them. I see the. I
I
don't know
don't know.
how
Is that a good
happens,
thing?
man.
That's maybe a good
I
thing.
don't
Maybe
know. I don't know.
we're getting a bit of recognition.
Oh, I see Thing making a thing, Gary McCann there.
Aye.
With a comment. But I don't know if Gary's set up his he's streaming yet. He's going to be doing some streaming. I think he's going to do a news channel. I
Oh,
think.
see
I
the
don't
oil
want to.
guy, the oil and gas guy.
I don't want to speak out of school, but I think because I've no spoke to him. I've not been on much, so aye, maybe he is. Don't know. You can let us know, Gary.
Can you hold the fort because I'm going to get dead uncomfortable, and that is just a passion. Like my stomach's fine.
Well, aye,
Can
I'll
you
find
hold the
something to
fort?
talk about. Aye,
Why don't you go through some of your poetry?
I've not wrote any poetry. I don't write that.
Hey, back in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Right, this is funny because we're live and I'm just myself. If anybody's got anything to say, you can fucking jump on. I don't even have the phone either. I can't even answer the phone. One of my thoughts that I've wrote down is people that are doing so well. Don Wilson, I'm not saying it. If you go to the thing and you hit live chat rather than top chat, see up the top of the comment box. Watch it goes to okay. This is an observation that I had while scrolling through social media. People are doing so well financially, spiritually, whatever is what they're doing so well financially, doing great. Business is fucking going great. But they spend a lot of their time doing photo shoots, professional photo shoots, to post on Instagram to tell people how well they're doing financially. When I thought of that, when I saw it, the wee observation, I was like, it's fucking stupid, and I wonder why we do that. I don't know. That was all I've got. You and your boys got any weird Christmas traditions? Why is the message retracted? Fuck's sake. No, I don't have any Christmas traditions. They're only young though. Oh, well, kind of young, but play golf on Christmas Eve. That's it. This is going to be like fan Leslie Nielsen goes for a pish in a Naked Gun. I can't remember that, but I was talking to somebody the day. If you like Naked Gun, I was talking to somebody the day, and I was like, "Oh, check your thighs. You could tune them for a week." And I think that's a Naked Gun line, isn't it? Leslie Nielsen says it. Leslie Nielsen was Canadian, and he was funny as fuck, man. He was really funny. What else you want to talk about? I shall peruse my notes. Hit the wrong button. Oh, you don't want to be hitting the wrong buttons, mate. I had a wee idea for a thing I was doing. I'll tell you the premise. Premise. So a guy steals a phone, robs somebody, steals a phone, and he looks through the phone. He's sitting in his house. He looks through the phone. He starts reading the messages between two people, the guy and a friend, on through DMs on Instagram or that, and he gets so involved in the messages and the way the guys are talking, how to set up their life and do stuff, that he changes his life around and gives the phone back and blah blah blah. It's just a wee note that I had wrote just for the start, but I just thought that was a good one. Done all my Christmas shopping free through a dodgy mate doing refunds.
I see ours.
That's
Did you
weird,
talk about
man.
RC's comment?
RC, the Naked Gun.
Aye, did you talk about that?
Ah, yes.
This is going to be like the.
I was thinking, what is the Leslie? I don't know the bit for
So
Naked Gun.
he's doing a talk. He's got a clip-on mic or something like that, a wireless mic, and he's doing a talk at like I don't know, like the mayor's town hall or whatever. And then he goes for a pish, and he's still got the mic on him, and it's just like for ages, and he's like,
I know the bit. I know the exact.
Fucking brilliant, man.
Fuck, aye. No, that's what I was saying. I think there's another Naked Gun line, because it says that. I was talking to a guy and I was like, "Oh man, check your thighs. You could tune them for a week." You know, I think that's a Leslie Nielsen line.
Right. I'm going to find the clip.
It's funny doing it. It's funny talking yourself into it, man. I used to be able to talk myself and just talk, but then it wasn't live. I want to do it live, but even doing a fucking Instagram story talking a lot of shit, it's hard now, man. I think it's just.
Do you find it difficult?
I don't find it difficult. What do you call the word? Right, on you go. Aye, this bit. Aye.
Is complete, and we can all take pride that the Queen has chosen our Indeed, it is for all the people who will be able to share.
Sing to the Zip Man.
Celebration.
It was the zip sound.
Brilliant, man. Is that Zip?
It is. It's the zip sound that sets up the whole thing.
Yep. What's it name?
Oh, they're perfect, man. He's so funny, man. He was brilliant,
Police Squad. Brilliant. I loved Police Squad.
Brilliant, man.
We also would like to.
Whoops. It's funny. It was so funny, man. You know, it was so fucking funny. No, what I was saying about the...
he was a straight actor for years, Neil.
Oh, was he? I never knew that.
He was a straight actor, but he never really made it. And then it was the Airplane movies, and then the done Police Squad. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
No, I was looking for a word. It's not that I find it difficult to do it. It's what would you call that? Like the climate, maybe the social media climate. Maybe it just seems for somebody to just go on and just talk their observations or their nonsense and just rant on about a certain subject and see where they end up.
Yeah.
I don't know if the social climate likes that now. I think the social media climate.
Definitely,
I think it's very serious now. Instagram is serious. Instagram used to be like a forum where it was guys who were into the same stuff as you. Like I know you could talk about normal stuff, but now it's very serious, very professional, and very like as if a customer is looking at every fucking. And I'm like, I don't like that. It was meant for people to get together and talk about common interests, but.
Yeah.
So then I just think it's quite. I find a lot of stuff online a bit maybe it's just my age. Maybe I'm just getting older. I
Yeah.
really want to put stuff online all the time. I'd really like to do that, but then other times I'm just like, why would I bother? Why am I doing it? What's the point? Isn't it? You know what I mean? But it's just a weird. It's weird, man. It's a weird time in history. You know?
It is. It's a very, very strange time. Social. We talk about the culture war, and aye, it's a
You know?
strange time. So there we go. I made it down the corridor in Backneel and didn't get attacked by a ghost or
You
whatever
ever,
that mad
You ever
Christmas thing was.
you ever held a pee in for so long that is it your kidneys or whatever that really fucking hurt when you do a pee?
Oh, you feel like you're going to pass out with
I've
the pain.
I've held a piss in once, right, and I was nearly crying. I was in the back of a car, and I was like I was 20 something, and it took us like half an hour to get to a place, and I'm like, I need a piss, and nobody talk to me or that, and I had to get out the car and just go straight to, and I was like, I couldn't walk.
Why could
and I was
nobody
just
talk to you?
Oh, they put
Because
me
you had
off, and I
to
ended up.
concentrate on holding
I
it
had
in.
to
Aye.
concentrate on. It got by the stage that's like even comfortable holding it in, and
Aye.
I've like like waddled into the place, and I done, and I thought I thought I was going to fall over because my fucking kidneys. I was
Aye.
like, oh fucking Jesus! It was excruciating pain.
I was at a stag night. This is back before stag weekends were a thing.
Okay.
So my mate was getting married. I think I was the best man at the wedding, and I was still early 20s, and we'd gone to a few pubs in Glasgow, and one of the guys that was there was a more experienced, an older, still a young guy, but older, like he was in his 30s or whatever. And he says, aye, the best way to avoid the feeling of the alcohol hitting you and feeling a bit drunk is to hold your pee in for as long as you possibly can.
Aye.
So I was like, right, that sounds great. So we'd sat in this pub for a while. And then it was time to go and get the train back.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm just going to nip for a piss.
Mm-hmm.
And I nearly collapsed in the toilets of the pub with the pain.
Really?
It was unbelievable. Honestly, I thought
Yeah.
I was dying. It was like being stabbed in the back, like this where your kidneys are at the back. It was like being stabbed. It's unbelievable, the pain.
It's very sore. What is it that does that? What is it?
Don't know. Should we look it up? If
Well, I mean,
producer
is it
Cam
just
was
like-
here, I would-
Is the piss backed right up into your kidneys? Because your kidneys are the ones that are cleaning out all the shit. I might be totally wrong.
let's have a look.
Look at that comment there for Dom Wilson. JW Stag do bet that was a riot.
Well, I can tell you the story of it.
Well, a load of
Listen,
JWs. Right, hold in your piss and you'll get fucking steaming. All right, hold in your piss.
No, this is the thing about JWs, right? That I knew. They like a drink.
Oh,
But
but are you
the-
allowed? Are you allowed?
Aye, you can drink. It's no Mormons where you're not allowed alcohol and caffeine and all
right,
that. No, you
okay,
can drink.
okay.
They like their drink.
Right.
And I've known JWs that were essentially functioning alcoholics. But the stag
Oh,
do.
aye.
The stag do was mental, man. And it was more what happened because we decided for some reason, like, do you know what? Was I married? I might have been married at the time. Aye, I was
Right.
married at the time. So my now ex-wife, I think she'd stayed at her mum and dad's, and because I was the best man at this wedding, all the guys for the stag night were going to crash at my tiny wee one-bedroom flat, right?
Mhm.
And for some reason, I think it was we get the bus back. That's what it was. We get the bus, but the bus for some reason we got off way at the end of the road where my flat was. Like it was like half a mile, 3/4 of a mile for the flat. So whatever time in the morning it was, and all the guys I was with, they were all a bit mental. There was only one of them was like my mate, and that's the guy whose wedding it was, and it was like his pals, and most of them were a bit mental. And the behaviour of the guys was so bad. Multiple people on the street phoned the police, and like 3 squad cars tore up and stopped us.
Fucking
The guys were running down and just
JW's gone
jumping full into folks' gardens, into the shrubbery. It was quite a nice area.
brilliant. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Pulling aerial cars. Remember cars used to have aerials?
Aye.
Pulling the car
Brilliant.
aerials off.
Amazing.
Aye. But
Amazing.
what I remember about that was, like, by the time the police arrived, we were literally, you could have spat and hit my flat. So it was right next to the flat. And I was like, look, we're going just there. Coming up. And I remember one of the WPCs saying to one of the guys, Who did you just throw in the bushes there? The guy hadn't thrown anything in the bushes. Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? It was like they were trying to get something. So I
Aye.
think we all got searched, and then we were allowed to go. Aye.
Wild.
But it was
That's
funny.
wild.
The
It's
next
funny.
day, the next day at the Kingdom Hall, right? It was the Saturday night, and the next day was the Sunday meeting at the Kingdom Hall. And my job at the time was to run the soundboard, so
Mhm.
to play the music for the kind of hymns and all that, and then
Oh, aye,
like
okay.
have the microphone. And it was an important meeting because it was the visit from what's called the circuit overseer, who's like the top dog in the particular area where you live. So he maybe goes to visit like 50 different Jehovah's Witness congregations. So he was visiting our one that particular Sunday. So you need to be top
Aye.
notch. It's a fucking mad hierarchy thing, right? I was hungover, and
Aye.
I just remember fucking a few things up and just being totally out of the game.
You get
So yeah, it
spanking.
was fun and exciting. And we had a wonderful Sunday afterwards.
It's funny when you have groups like that who, when they just let loose. See, when you get
That's
a load of
exactly
like,
what happens.
say like maybe like a chartered accountants wee conference and that, and it's
Aye,
just they're all like, "Oh, how you
mad
doing? You
shaggers.
okay? Yeah, how were you doing in the last one? Yeah, we're up 2 points. Yeah, we're pretty good." And then by the night time, they're just fucking wild, just deviants, man, just fucking wild. It's funny. Good laugh. I mean, even that seems like, even though it was like JWism and all that, it seems like you could still have a good laugh in it. You know what I mean?
You
Certain
still,
times.
we'd great laughs and we'd really, really good friends. You know what I mean?
Aye,
And you'd
it's
have
sort
really
of,
nice nights out. There was a wee groupies. We'd go out once a month. We were all married and we all had kids and all that, and we would meet up. There was maybe 6 of us, 3 couples,
Aye.
or whatever, 4 couples, and we'd all go out
Uh-huh.
once a month. It was great. Aye.
Brilliant. Fucking
As
brilliant, man.
normal as you can be without folk realising you're a
Aye.
complete Fruit Loop. But that's just life. We're all Fruit Loops hiding behind masks of
Well,
normality.
sometimes I look at the way people live, and especially in this village, and I'm looking at other families, and I'm like, just to Jem, I'm like, we're kind of different, man, and a lot of people who live around us, man, I'm like really different, man, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad we're the way we are, and you know what I mean. I would rather do what we're doing than what they're doing, but
Mhm.
obviously, they people think we're kind of different. I'm glad we do what we do. You know, it's just the mask everybody puts on. It's strange, isn't it, man?
Aye.
Strange. It's
Oh,
just
aye.
something that
We've all
I don't
got it.
think we've
It's
all
easy
got
to
it, man.
point the fingers at weird groups, whether it's religious folk or chartered accountants, whatever it is. It's easy to point the finger and go, aye, there, that's that the next time. But we've
Aye.
all got it, man. We've all got it.
Everybody does. Everybody does, and you notice it, man. Everybody does it, but it's nice being aware of what you do, you know. But it's fucking. It's just I'm interested in all that, but I don't think I'll ever get an answer. I don't think I'll ever get to the bottom of anything like that. It's just an interesting thing that humans do. It's just human
Yeah.
behavior, you know. I'm a fan of human behavior.
So I'm trying to find out what that pain is
Oh, aye.
when you pee. I
I
can't
remember
really
when
get
I
it.
was I remember when I was really young, maybe 13, and I couldn't pee. I had to go in for a bath before I done a pee
Really?
because something I don't know why could I no pee. It was like it would end up I would be peeing blood or something like that. It was
Wow.
just it was a weird thing, and it was so painful and all that. And then I would go for a bath, quick, just run the bath, jump in, come out and do a pee, and it was
Right.
fine. It would like
Wow.
ease off. So I don't know what that
That's
was.
weird.
I'll
Did
need
you
to
never,
get my
never go to the
doctor's.
doctor?
Oh no, we went to the doctors
Aye.
for it, but
He just
aye,
tried to
'cause I
give you a vaccine?
no, because I was like 13, so I was embarrassed about getting my
Aye.
willy out. But
Aye.
it's like fucking hell, man. Let
And
me
your
at least
mum was
get it
there.
semi-hard, you know what I mean? Giving it a wee stretch before I was taking my pants down, but it's trying to. So I don't know. I should probably get my doctor records and then see what that was. It might explain a few things.
You're maybe just not. You're maybe just perpetually dehydrated and your kidneys just weren't functioning properly.
Might have been that.
Bob
Maybe,
Simpson wants to know if you caught an STI off your uncle.
I mean, that's possible.
That's for the
I
members
mean,
only show.
right, I was talking to a guy, right? What do you think of this? I was talking to a guy, and and it was like, I'll try and think how I'll say this so it works, so it's proper. We were talking about something, and he ended up saying, he says, "No," he says, "if you were abused like sexually or that when you were younger, you would know about it." He says, "You would probably be on drugs or something now, right?" And I was like, maybe. And I'm not saying that I was sexually abused, right? But I was just saying there's like, if you've blocked out a lot of your childhood, right, and you don't remember it,
Mm-hmm.
why would you block and you remember what would have happened? Something must have happened. and and
Aye.
I know a few people that it happened to, and I've asked them, I says, "What, were you sexually abused in it?" But he says,
Just
"No,
did you
no,
just come
no,
out with it?
no." Aye, well, I know them and that, you know. I says,
Right, right.
maybe you get fucked, maybe you get
I
raped
thought
or
it was
that,
be
you know.
moving down the post office.
Aye. Well, I see the postie. Well, I would say that. Is that? Well, anyway, you know how if you get a COVID test,
No.
right? Well,
I know what a COVID test is, but I have not had one.
see if you have a cough or
Aye.
something, but you want to go to the doctors about it. Up here, they make you have a COVID test to prove that you're negative before
Right.
they'll see you, right? So we had to go and put the COVID test and post it away, the one that they send out, and then you do, and then you send it back,
Aye.
right? So I took it to the post office. It wasn't for me, but I took it to the post office. This is, I post this here. Like, no, you need to go to either Inverary or Stricker. And I'm like, so this is a deadly virus, but you're making cunts fucking drive
Aye.
45 minutes to do. I was like, fine. And but then they says to me, or I'll shut my eyes and you can go and put it in the post box and don't tell anybody that I've done it. And I'm like, all right. She's, I'll just shut my eyes. I was like, aye, cool, man. So I just fired it in the post box and it went away just the same as it would, you know? So why do you need to go? Why do you need to post? Why do you need to drive to another fucking post office? Right? Why?
So
when
it's
it can go in the
it's
post
so
box?
deadly and it's so serious that they've introduced vaccine passports in Scotland and in England and Wales, right? But they've added a caveat where you can get access to places that require you to have the COVID pass if you've got a lateral flow test instead that's negative. Have you done a lateral flow test?
Me? No, I've not done any tests, no.
So I had to do one to go into the COP26 venue, right?
And it goes up the one up your nose?
Aye. So you do it yourself, right? It comes in a fucking box and you open
What
it up.
did you rub it on the table or something? Just
No,
send it
no,
back?
because the folk were there.
Oh, right,
But the
okay.
guy actually said to me, he says, now, obviously, if you want to do the test, you put that up your nose and you twirl it about and all that, right? And he was going, if you want to do it. So I thought to myself, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll do a lateral flow test. But you don't, to get a negative result, all you need to do is you go into this, it's got the fucking, the paperwork's got the websites, you go into the website and you put in your details, it's a government website, your name, date of birth, email address, all that kind of stuff. And then it asks you to give it permission if you're on your phone to get to use the camera, and there's a wee QR code on the plastic. See, it's like a pregnancy test, right? It's a wee plastic thing like that. And there's a QR code on it, and the government website wants to use your camera to scan the QR code.
Right.
So you've already told the government website that it's a negative result, and then you scan the QR code, and then like 60 seconds later you get a text message and an email confirming your name, date of birth, and you've tested negative. So if it's such a deadly fucking disease, why the fuck are they trusting cunts like me to diagnose myself?
No, this
It's
is what I
bullshit.
think.
That is bullshit.
But say you wanted to go on holiday, right, and you needed to get some negative tests, I'd just take your test out and fucking run it under the water or something, and then fucking
So for
send
going
it away.
holiday, you need a PCR test, right?
Oh, it's
Now
not
at the
different.
start, that's when you were driving to the fucking leisure centre car park and get up to the marquee, and the folk in the full hazard suits, hazmat suits are there, and then they would ram the thing up your nose. For months, what they've been doing is just handing you in a plastic bag. Right, there you go. Just drive over there, do a test, and then drive back round and drop the test off. So you could, and Mary did to take her daughter to get a test, and Mary's like, "What? How do you do it? We've know how to do one before. Oh, have you not done one before? No, I've not done it." So she had to show her how to do it.
Right.
So even the PCR test, you just drive the other bit of the car park and fake it. I'm not saying legally, I'm not saying that's what you should do. What I'm saying is that's what you can do for the most deadly disease known to man.
It's pretty mental. That's what it was. Just that you couldn't post it for here. I'm like, there's a post box there, and there's a post office, and it's well equipped. You need to drive somewhere, and I was like, well, it doesn't really make sense. But they were very helpful, so it was fine. And
Well,
that's
that's
what I was
very good.
saying. I was like, none of this fucking makes any sense. Nobody even gives a fuck anymore. It's just a thing, you know.
Well, Rob Simpson get good news. He might be getting some bad news as well, Neil. I don't know. It might lead to bad news, but he got some good news. He says, talking about getting your willy out, had to have an ultrasound on my nuts last week after I found a lump. That's not the good news, but right. This is a good news, but the mumsy woman doing the scan showed me the screen and said I had a lovely pair of testicles.
Fucking yes. That was a chat up
It's a
line.
wonderful
I'd have been in
gift.
there, mate. I'd have been in there, mate.
She's mumsy though.
Also, he had a lump on his bollocks.
What's the, so Rob, we need to know the results. If you know the results, you need to share the results with the
one of my
SMRE
mates,
family.
One of my mates had testicular cancer, a brickie that I know, Paul Smith, and he had it chopped off. And
I know a guy had that done as well.
Fine now. He's
He
fine
got
now.
a
But
wee silicone one and
no, he
instead
never
of it.
got one. He never got one in, and I was like, "Can you get one in?" He says, "Aye." He says, "I'm going to get one of the wee flashing LED balls and
Aye.
put that in."
Aye.
That's
Whenever
pretty
it
funny.
gets bumped, it starts flashing. Rob
But
says he's all clear. Good news,
Oh,
Rob.
there you
Good
go.
news.
Good news. I had that fucking years ago. I was going out with Gemma at the time, and I felt a lump in my bollocks and had to go to the doctor. And same again, you had to get your willy out, and it was this guy and guy's there, and he's touched my balls and that, and fuck it. And then he says, "I'll just give you antibiotics," so it was fine. You know, I don't know what it was. It was a cyst or something, just a wee
Aye.
thing. I don't know.
Aye.
Fuck,
I
I think it's
99
normal.
times out of 100, that's what it is. You get a cyst.
Aye. But aye, so it's a shame, man. It's just one of the things. I wouldn't like to get it, you know. I wouldn't like to get cancer, you know. That's all I'm saying.
Full stop.
Aye, I wouldn't like to get it. Can it be nice?
Nah. No. It's not as bad as COVID, though.
Well,
So
some people.
No, across the board, Neil. Across the board. That's why you don't need cancer tests and screening now. Because it's more important that...
Somebody on Twitter
We
says
can't
that's
get off
bullshit.
this subject tonight, can we?
No, I know. Somebody on Twitter says that's bullshit. Because they says, no, this is bullshit. I've got cancer and I've been in and I've seen my specialist and all that and everything's, I've not had any delays.
Right, okay.
So
they've got cancer, right? Did they tell you what
Yeah.
cancer was? Was it renal cancer? What sort of cancer was it?
Cancer of the anus.
Right, okay. So new cancer treatments, new cancer screenings
Right.
are for the most part postponed
Oh, okay.
because
Well, maybe he was. Maybe
all the resources are being diverted to doing the boosters. That's a
Maybe
fact.
maybe he was just lucky. He got in.
But if he's already undergoing a
Oh,
course
okay,
of
okay,
treatment,
okay.
I'm talking about new. And they reckon there's about 750,000 cancer cases have been missed in the UK.
Mhm. The thing that's weird with that whole thing is, why has nobody told anybody like you should look after yourself anyway? Like, see the thing which I really don't get, and I know everybody likes Joe Rogan for whatever reason, whatever. I don't care. I like to listen to him, and so he got COVID. And then he says, I was all prepared if I got it, and he had this that he was going to take. So he gets COVID, and then he does all the stuff that he says he's going to do, and he's fine after a few days, right? And people hate that. And I'm like, why do people fucking hate that?
I know. It doesn't
Because
make any sense.
what are they meant to do? Are they meant to do and then like if people are getting put on a ventilator, is he meant to go on a ventilator to have a bit of pride of having? It's like, what the fuck in their head doesn't he say? Wait a minute, man. This guy's spent what is it, 10 years? 10 years? No, it's more than 10 years. He spent like over 10 years talking to the top fucking specialists in the world about fucking everything, and he's came to his own conclusion of what he's going to do. But
And spoke to his own doctor.
Yeah, and people say, he's just a fucking weed smoking MMA commentator. And I'm like, but he solved it in a few days. And he's supposedly his mates who have got it, they phone him and they done the same thing.
And they were all fine as well.
And so maybe that's the way to cure the whole thing rather than all this. I don't.
There's a guy called Dr. Peter McCullough, right? And he's on loads of podcasts because he's been blackballed from the mainstream media.
Oh, he was on Joe Rogan?
Aye, he was on Joe Rogan, right?
Aye.
And one of the things he said, I think it was on Joe Rogan. No, it was on another podcast I was listening to. He says one of the things that alarms him as a physician. So he's like a scientist and a professor,
He's the
but he's
most
also an
published.
actual physician.
He's the most published doctor in the
Yeah.
world ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
But the media won't talk to him. He says the thing that disturbs him the most is that there has never been a treatment plan drawn up. Folk are told to stay at home and take a test.
Yeah. That's the weird thing.
And
to me.
then
That's the,
after a week, this is back at the start, after a week, they're really gravely ill. And
Yeah.
then they get admitted to hospital, put on a ventilator, and you've only got a 33% chance of surviving that. Oh, he died. Oh, another one. Lost another one. How many did we
33.
lose? We lost 6 of them. 6 of the 10 that came in.
well,
So
that-
he says, why has there not been a treatment plan agreed? And he was talking about 'cause
Aye.
some countries like India are now doing it, Japan's now doing it, other countries are doing it. They've got a treatment plan, and it's the exact treatment plan that Joe Rogan followed, and it's sorting cunts out. Japan's
So
fixed.
see-
Japan's not got an
yeah.
issue with it now.
So this is what I think. It's like I people can think whatever way and they can say that's rubbish or whatever, but why do people no want to take that on board and say, you know what, man, everybody who's done this treatment plan, they've came out pretty well and it's the best. Why do people shut it off straight away? Why do they no think and open up and say, this looks interesting, this is probably beneficial for me to listen to and look into?
I think
why
we
do
know
pe-
the
why do
answer. Because the mainstream media and social
Aye.
media is pushing a particular method of dealing with this that's
even
heavily
that,
marketed and funded by companies that are profiting from it.
but do people buy into that stuff that much? Like, see, why do they buy into that so much, but they don't open their mind to another thing? It's just closed off.
But you heard
It's-
the mass formation psychosis.
Aye,
That's
I
why.
read about it just a couple of days ago.
That's why. That's why
Um,
folk aren't opening their minds to it because they can't.
Do you think it's actually? Do you think that's actually a thing? Do
Aye.
you think it's actually what's? That's fucking mental if it is, man. Because people that got, oh, it's that fucking Joe Rogan talking this shit and that, and I'm like, but he cured himself very quickly.
Mhm.
He cured himself but what was he meant to do? What was he meant to do? If he
Exactly.
was he meant to no use like thousands of whatever much it cost him? Was he no meant to use the money that he's made to help himself?
It wouldn't have cost them much at all. He took vitamin
I
D,
thought it cost.
zinc.
I thought it cost fucking thousands. Nah.
I don't know whether we can even say the word
Maybe-
of the medication.
maybe-
the medication
maybe,
he took is really, really cheap and it's out of patent. So
Alright,
it can
aye.
be mass produced very, very cheaply. So he took
Maybe
that.
maybe I picked it up wrong. I think it was maybe he says that he spends like tens of thousands on like a month
on his health in general.
on his health and all
In
that.
general.
But
But this treatment
thing-
is incredibly cheap, and it's what's sorted it in India. Remember India,
Aye.
the Delta variant.
aye,
India's
aye.
so they just started using this treatment that's really cheap, and it's fucking. You look at the graph; it went away up like that. Oh, Delta, and now it's like barely noticeable on the graph.
Aye. But I just don't know why. I don't know why people don't look at that and say, wait a minute, why do people not give him even the tiniest bit, even if they don't like anything, give him the tiniest bit of respect for the people that he's spoke to. He spoke to the top people in their field like he spoke to all them for like that's his job. That's what he does. I'm like, so you need to give the guy some credit of what the people that he spoke to and the information that he knows and all the
Mhm.
knowledge that he's picked up. It's like a skill that
Oh, aye.
he's honed. You know what I mean? So I don't understand what the fuck. Why? Maybe it is that what you say is the psychosis, the mass
Formation psychosis.
Fucking crazy. Sometimes I wish I was fucking mass psychosed and I was just fucking. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I was fucking brilliant.
Blue pill.
You know what I mean?
You took the blue pill. Just go back to sleep.
I always get mixed up with the blue pill and the red pill.
The red pill's the one that opens your mind to the reality. There's
Right,
a
okay.
train going by. Can you hear that train just now that's going by in the background under my voice?
Tiniest bit. The tiniest bit. I wouldn't know it's a train if
Right,
you never
okay.
says.
Cool.
You know what I
Because there's
mean?
been quite a few been going by when we've been recording, but I don't know if any of them
Oh, really?
have been
Oh, it's been
noticeable.
pretty good. Aye, so sorry for talking about the quote. I mean, am I
Aye, it's
sorry?
been kinda
Fucking, it's everywhere
COVID
anyway. What
central
you
tonight, innit?
what else you meant to talk about, man? It's getting
Aye.
to the point where it's like fucking hell. Come on, to fuck, man. We need
Well,
to kind of
I
stop.
can't
We need to
find the
stop
quote, but there
nonsense.
was a quote on the BBC website from Nicola Sturgeon saying that she has no plans. She doesn't intend to cancel Christmas this year.
Aye.
It's the
Well, it's a power thing.
it's the brass bollocked
It's the
bravery
power is
of these
well,
fucking elected cunts who are put in position because we have ticked a fucking box in a bit of paper, and then they're in that position, and it's like, oh, this year, I'm not going to cancel Christmas this year. Sorry, you're not going to think. Who the fuck do you think you are?
right, so
Imagine
say,
Neil having the brass bollocked bravery to make that statement.
well, it's this. The way I look at it is, see all these politicians and that, right? They are not immune to likes and shares and good messages and followers, right? So say nobody's immune to that shit. It goes way deep inside a human that
Yep.
we can't be out. So say this podcast, say we ended up getting fucking 20,000 views, 30,000 views, 40,000 views, I would fucking speak my fucking psychology and philosophy as if it was as if people actually fucking wanted to hear it. And it's all fucking nonsense, you know? But you would think, no, but there's views and there's people watching, so I'll just
Aye.
fucking keep talking. People like my fucking nonsense.
Aye,
And then you would just keep going. These people are exactly the same.
So,
What
so do you
makes
feel?
them immune to all this?
So do you
What?
feel it's a case of going into the third year of them having total fucking control, or believing they have total fucking control
totally.
over their lives, and worse than that, Neil, believing that people want them to have that
Yeah.
control is emboldening them and
See
making
if
them
you're-
crazy on the power.
Totally. See if your social media is set up that you have nothing negative coming in, you have no negative comments because they're all blocked, and all these accounts are blocked, these people are blocked, and 1 million Instagram followers does something to people, man, and it makes them strange. If whatever kind of person most people it would change, but it's the likes and they're like, look at me, I'm famous.
It's an echo
I'm
chamber,
Elvis.
isn't it?
I'm Elvis Presley. I'm famous. Fame's a fucking crazy thing, man. Fame's fucking. Look at how many people are fucking just wired. Fucking.
Well, this
It's
is
weird.
this is part of what sort of skeptical and cynical people are recognising is that. And so let's take the politicians out of it, but see, like the public health officials. Like who'd heard of a public health official before 2020? No, who'd heard of, who knew the names of public health officials? In Australia, they're called CHO's, Chief Health Officer. These are the orders of the Chief Health Officer. So the feeling of power these folk have got. But what's been dead interesting is the number of them that have had the fucking time to go and write books. Anthony Fauci's written a book and fucking made a documentary about himself.
No,
Made
so
a
see
fucking documentary about himself.
Yeah. So see the documentary, right? When they filming that, when was that
Wait,
getting filmed?
When was that
Well,
getting filmed?
You need to film it, then you need to fucking edit it, and then you
Aye.
need to do all the other bullshit
And get it
him
all
into
approved and all the
voiceover
marketing
stuff.
and all the and then the photographs for the fucking promo posters. You're
When was
you're
it?
battling the biggest fucking catastrophe humanity's ever known. Neil, I don't have time to update my fucking Instagram just because of life. These folk are writing books and making feature fucking films.
Aye. But listen, because of life of a self-employed dad of 3, right? It's no the guy who's fucking trying to solve a fucking pandemic, you know. So where the fuck does it? The thing is,
He
we're
found the time to
so-
invent AIDS back in the 80s, right? So he's got amazing time management skills.
It's we love telly so much. We believe telly so much. We believe movies and all that, right? That nobody says, when was that filmed? When was that filmed?
Exactly.
It's like when the presidents or whoever they bring in these workers. I think we spoke about this before. They bring in say it's for green energy. We're going to bring in some guys who are working in windmills, and right. So they bring them into the White House, and the president's there, and these two guys are standing next to him with hard hats and all the gear on, and I'm like, So did they guys jump out, drive all the way to the White House and go through all the White House security with all their gear on, their worky stuff on? You know, it's like they were going to the White House. They're not
Where
going
are
to
you
be
going
fucking
today?
at work.
I'm going to the White House. Dressed like that?
Putting on your worky gear.
Where's you not get a suit?
Aye.
You
So
sloppy bastard.
People are watching the telly and they're like, aye, they must be workers then. And I'm like, what? When it's the same as like, yeah, and we're all in the room and we're in a room myself, and that's I'm giving you this the way they present the politician themselves, nobody else in the room, right? It's like you have the guy in the lights, you have the camera guy, probably two cameras, you've got the script fucking super, you got every cunt in that fucking room behind the camera. People are looking, see, even he's himself, even he's fucking, it's like, who the fuck's pushed record on the camera? Did he push it and then run round the bit? We believe the telly, so we're just so, movies are just a party is, man. It's just they've sunk right into us.
People could watch this, right, and think that at 7 o'clock we just sit down in front of cameras and we just go, right? And I know it might look as if there's fucking no preparation or production goes into it, but believe you me, a shit ton of work goes into this. So I know exactly what you're saying. And obviously, I'm meant to have my own personal producer on site, and he's not here. He's a bit open. But a lot of work goes into this sort of stuff, and even more if you're going in to see the President of the United States.
Aye, but this is it, man. And people, it's just there's always somebody behind the camera. You need to edit stuff, you need to film it. It's like, but that documentary with Fauci's just but the picture of him on the front, and I'm like, mate, you fucking love a selfie, man. You know what I mean? It's like they just love hearing themselves.
Oh, they love it. They love it. Have you seen the advert for the booster with that fucking ghoul? Chris Whitty. Have you seen him? That fucking, he's a fucking ghoul. Hey, do you know what? Forget all that scary Christmas monster with me walking down that corridor. What would fucking terrify me stepping out the door and he's fucking standing there? Shave your head, mate. See this fucking downy fluff at the temples and all that. It's not working for you. And maybe get something done with the eyes, because see the fact that they're out on bulbous fucking stalks, and see the fact that you've not got a chin. It's quite disturbing, your looks. And you're the chief fucking medical officer for the United Kingdom, mate. You look like death.
I think if you look at all the medical officers, like
they all look like death.
They're all. I'm like, jeez, oh man, it's like you're meant to be the health. You've not really kept yourself healthy, you know. It's
not about health. Here's the thing, right? You need a pass. You need a fucking pass, a passport thing to prove you've been certain. How about an obesity pass? How about an obesity passport? What's your BMI? Oh, it's 32. Nah, you're not coming in, mate. You're not coming into the pub. You're not coming into the restaurant. You've had enough. You get down to Neil's gym. Right, he's fucking trying to get a six-pack by the time he's 40.
Iron Paradise.
Right, get down to Iron Paradise on the dock, fucking looking out onto the loch, right? Get yourself down to a body mass index of 20 or below, and then you can go to TGI Fridays for your fucking hot fudge sundae.
Well, that argument did pop up when I was doing my Twitter watching, viewing, and somebody was like, nah, shut up, you can't just catch a burger and chips for McDonald's or that. And I'm like, I don't know if it's not about catching a burger and chips and catching COVID. It's not about it. It's about looking after yourself so that you're
Here's the
you're
difference.
as well
Here's the response to that.
know?
Here's the response to that, right? Statistically, what are your chances of accidentally encountering COVID in the wild and ending up in a ventilator, right? Vanishingly small. Or what are your chances of you consistently eat like a fat bastard, the worst foods and drinks possible, you then developing cancer or diabetes or a heart problem? Hugely high.
Yeah.
So it comes down to statistics and balance of risk, right? Your risk of developing a morbidity through eating badly and not exercising and just generally being a fat, lazy, Twitter-using cunt are really, really high. You're going to die. Your chances of ending up in a ventilator because you are going into your pals to watch the football, hugely small. And that's what these health officers don't talk about, because the word health should be in quotation marks. It's got fuck all to do with health. Right back at the start, we should have been getting told, right, listen, take your vitamin D, get your exercise in. The sun's out. Get out in that sun. That'll be really good for you. No, we're told stay in the fucking house. Don't see your pals. The gym's shut. Just Eat's got a deal on.
Yeah, it was pretty weird the way it all worked out with that, and the I mean, imagine how much money is McDonald's do McDonald's give to the British government, man? I'm sure they fucking give them a wee bit of dough so they can get away with some shit. But I mean, maybe no, maybe I'm talking out of school, but it's like that whole thing was weird. I'm like, why has nobody told anybody just to, you know what, maybe you want to take it easy? There was cunts being celebrated for fucking drinking at 9 a.m, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't know if this is healthy to be putting online that you're drinking every day at 9 a.m. because you're off
gin
working.
o'clock.
And the government's paying your wages, so let's just fucking get steaming all day. I'm like, I don't know if that's a healthy way to live, mentally or physically, whatever way, but hey, maybe it's good fun, you know what I mean? Sure, it probably is good fun, you know?
For a day, surely.
Think so?
Unless you're a rage. Well, I can't remember at the start, but it's some mad increase in alcoholism in the UK since last year. It's like mad, the increase.
Oh, is it crazy? I mean, I bet
You'd never have seen that coming, eh?
I know. Tell a lot of Scottish people, listen, we're going to pay your wages, right? And you need to stay in the fucking house. They'd be like, what? You fucking won the lottery, man. You're fucking beauty, man. That's all, you know? Fucking brilliant, man. Everybody needs to let their hair down, now, you know, now and again.
Right, what time we on? We are 1 hour and 1 hour and 47 minutes into this, Neil. I think it's time to call. I think it's time to call it a night.
Call it a night.
So in the new year, quickly just cover off Patreon, right? So Patreon's still there, patreon.com/SMRE. You can sign up now. You're not going to pay anything until the 1st of February, but you'll get access to all the previous members-only stuff, access to the members-only Telegram group chat, etc. In the new year, we'll go back to doing members-only shows. We'll figure out a schedule for it, schedule that works. You'll be down here at the studio now and again when you can. I know in the winter months it's probably not much fun driving down and driving back, but we'll play it by ear. We've got a couple of new Patreon subscribers to thank.
Oh, cool.
I'm sure we've mentioned Richard Jackson before, but we'll mention him again. Dominic Wilson.
That's him in the night. That's him in the chat tonight. All right, Dom.
Design
my
NX. Sorry, carry on.
On you go. I was just going to say that my gran had a neighbour called Dom when I was really young, and he does this mental black wig. And he knocked down all the walls and because he wanted an open plan house. It was like a Scottish Specials house in Campus Lang.
Aye.
He wanted an open plan house. He fucking knocked all the walls down and all the floors were all up and down up the stair. I think he had one wooden leg and one fucking half a wooden leg or something.
You don't get characters like that anymore, don't you?
No, you don't, because he would come out and my next door neighbour's like that, and just over there, and sometimes I'll be out and I'll hear him, Neil, you there? And I'll be like, aye, just over the fence. I'll be, you all right? What's happening? And he'll be talking to me. But he's an old Glasgow, an old Govan guy, man. And I think I think I've been reincarnated from, you know, one of the old fucking Glasgow guys, because I can go and talk to him for 2-3 hours talking
and understand what he's saying and all that.
Talking about how he was beating up people and how he was doing this, and I just talk and we just have a laugh. But it was just Dom, that was the name. So that's the only other Dom that I know.
So Dominic Wilson, Design NYZ, and Lawrence Henderson. So they're all new Patreon subscribers, patreon.com/SMRE. It really helps support the show. We're trying to grow that as well. Basically what happens is the members only shows are there as video. You get the link to the live stream of the members only shows, and you get the audio podcast of the members only shows as well if you just want to listen when you're at your work, walking the dog, or having a wank. Right. We'll call time for tonight, episode 23. Everybody, we hope you all have a fantastic Christmas, whatever it is that you're doing, whoever it is that you're saying, just have a great time, enjoy it, and we'll catch up with you next week in the lead up to the end of 2021, the year that saw the birth of social media ruins everything. Good evening.